So a little bit about Albert Fosmoe. He is the CEO of AuxThera and has over 20 years of extensive C-level and hands-on product development, manufacturing, quality and regulatory experience in FDA and EMEA regulated medical device, drug, and biological companies. After starting out in a regulatory QA role at AuxThera, also known as Ixion Biotechnology, a biological therapeutics development company, Mr. Fosmoe had escalating management responsibilities, including senior level positions as both Chief Operations Officer, where he was responsible for product development and subsequent manufacturing of AuxThera's biological products, including a live bacterial therapeutic. And Chief Regulatory Officer, where he was responsible for all U.S. and European regulatory operations and submissions. Prior to AuxThera, Albert had various positions, including U.S. Biomaterials. He also worked with Banyan, and I'm not going to continue. I'm just going to let you talk.
Great.
Okay.
Well, Lee, I wasn't sure I did all those things until you brought them up again and reminded me. Everybody hear me okay? So my background is biological and therapeutic and drug development. I've been very lucky to have 25 years of that in Gainesville and be able to grow and survive in Gainesville. That's a great community. I appreciate all your time today. As Lee indicated, I'm CEO of AuxThera, and we are developing Tremoxyl to address the #1 health issue facing our companion animals today. And like humans, that's obesity. Humans face exactly the same issues. Our pets face the same issues as humans: high blood pressure, diabetes, and 60 million of our pets are heavily overweight or obese. And the current therapies we have, weight loss foods, are either generally not effective or they're really expensive. There's one drug out there on the market today, that's Slentrol. It's an appetite suppressant, so it's a lifetime drug. Lifetime drugs with lots of side effects. So that product is a no-go to veterinary practitioner. Vomiting, diarrhea, it's a really nasty product to get the weight off. Certain instances it'll be given in a life-threatening situation. So there's no really good solutions out there. Tremoxyl is a proven solution, and it works really simply by reduction in size and number of fat cells, white fat cells. It's like the holy grail to weight loss, to be honest. And this product's caught the eye of a $2.2 billion veterinary products distribution company. AuxThera's got the license to all of the companion animal market. So I guess the other really important point is it's ready for the market. It's gone through all of the pre-development, it's gone through all the animal trials, and we'll get into a little bit more on that, on the technology. We talked a little bit about the issues. The thing I didn't mention, healthcare costs are just going up dramatically for our companion animals. 20, 30 years ago, you could bring your pet to the vet and have a $40 bill. And I don't know if you've walked into emergency management treatment center for a pet nowadays, and a friend of mine is an orthopedic surgeon. He said I could do surgery in these intensive care settings that they got MRIs, they got x-rays. Along with that is capabilities to treat all the elements that they couldn't treat 20 years ago. But with that comes price and significantly higher healthcare costs. This is a $58 billion market. Our companion animal market is $58 billion. So it's a big market. Our pets, an obese dog can live 2.5 years shorter than a fit dog. And our pets have short lives already. They're parts of our family. Cutting 2.5 years off is really a significant effect. So I mentioned the number 60 million heavily overweight obese. How do we get to that number? Well, the overall market is absolutely huge. We've got 161 million dogs and cats in the US alone. Of that 161 million, over 50% of them are overweight. 53% of the dogs are overweight, 57% of the cats are overweight. That's over 80 million overweight. That's not our market. We're not going to address the slightly overweight. We're not going to address the moderately overweight. Our market is the heavily overweight and obese, the ones that are at imminent risk for either health issues now or significantly increasing the cost of health care in the near future for these pets. So our target population is 59 million heavily overweight or obese animals. Back of the napkin calculation, 5% penetration rate is approximately 3 million animals. This is about a $50 per month treatment, and we anticipate some will be 4, some will be 6. It depends on how overweight they are, but just say on average, 6-month treatment, that's $300 per year. That's a $900 million total chain market. Vets obviously get a portion of that, distributors get a portion of that, but this is a big market at a 5% penetration rate of our already haircut down target population. So it's a big need, big market, big potential, but there's no good solutions as we talked about. The Tremoxyl solution was a serendipitous discovery. I think everybody knows there's been a lot of great science, a lot of great serendipitous discoveries. The tires you drive on today, the vulcanization process to make that rubber was a serendipitous discovery. This was a discovery in a Gainesville lab by a researcher that was using this compound as a control in one of his knockout mouse models. And he had another compound he was testing, and he gave this compound as a placebo, and lo and behold, placebo's just lost a ton of weight. Being the good investigator he is and good chief scientific officer is, he put this other project aside for a little while. This company spent about $1.2 million taking it through multiple in vivo animal studies. I'm a drug developer. There's 3 things I need to know as a drug developer. 1, I need to know that a compound has an effect, but a lot of things have an effect. There's a placebo effect. You can get a person in a clinical trial and they can have a significant response just because they're on a placebo. But this compound has an effect. The next thing you need to know is that effect dose dependent? You give a 10-gram amount, you should get a certain effect. You give twice that much, you should see roughly twice that. You give 4 times that much, you should see roughly 4 times that amount. In all my years of drug development, I've never seen such a linear dose effect. It's just an extraordinary dose-dependent effect here. So that's number 2 to get into the drug development. You got to have an effect, and then that effect should be dose-dependent for a therapeutic. The third thing, a lot of regulatory background, but to really be scientifically valid, you need to get a compound in a double-blind, fully randomized, placebo-controlled clinical trial. And this compound's been through 1 fully randomized, placebo-controlled clinical trial to the level that you need for an FDA phase 3 study. Commercial approval typically requires 2 placebo-controlled, fully randomized trials to get on the market on a commercial. This product has seen 1 of those already. Then obviously it's got to be safe. We've talked about the effectiveness already, but this is an amino acid-based therapeutic. It's been in other human trials for other indications at lower doses. This is a high dose of this compound. And then it's scientifically been proven, not only by this investigator, by independent investigators, to reduce the size and number of fat cells. So good technology behind this. I think the other important, so we know it's good for the owners because they really need to address this overweight situation in their pets, but this is also a solution that's good for vets. And the reason it's good for vets is because of the regulatory path that we're taking this to the market, I can only sell this product to a vet. I can't show this online. It'll never end up at a Walmart, never be over the counter, never be a big box. It will never even end up in a pharmacy. So because of the regulatory path we've chosen to get it to the market quickly, it's got to be overseen by a vet. And so vets love it because they're not going to put their time and effort getting up and running for the first month on this animal, then have them go out and buy it at their Walmart pharmacy, or have them go out and buy it at PetSmart. So that once they've invested their time and money getting up and running with this product and this program within their office, then they're going to continue to benefit from it. That's important to them. The other thing that's important is it works with any food. $58 billion market, a lot of it's food. You can imagine how competitive it is. We don't want to upset the Hills. We don't want to upset the Purina. We don't want to upset anybody that's got their weight management, their ineffective weight management solutions out there. Use this with it. We're completely okay with this. So it works with any food. And the hardest thing to do in life is really to change human behavior. We know that. We don't want to force our clients to change the foods they're on. They like it. They've been on it. The pet likes it. So the other thing, the vets like it because it's a vet tech administered program. Vets see 800 to 1,000 overweight dogs a year, the average vet, 65,000 vets. And they can't afford to take the time to counsel and bring each client through a weight management program. So the Tamoxifen solution is not just the therapeutic. The therapeutic is a tool for the vet to get the client serious about the weight loss program as well. Be honest, weight loss, what's it require? Feed the animal less food. Just feed them less, snack them less. But that hasn't worked. It just hasn't worked. They can't get them to change that behavior. And before clients don't even know what the proper amount of food to feed is. They got an 80-pound dog. They look on the back of the bag. 80 pound means 4.5 cups. They go grab their gator cup out of the office, feed them 4.5 gator cups. All of a sudden, they fed the dog for 30 extra pounds of fat that they shouldn't be feeding for fat, and then the gator cup is actually 1 3/4 cups, so they just totally fed them the wrong amount. So we've developed within this Tamoxifen solution a database of all the pet foods, and that will be continually updated as it. And then we've got the vet tech program, so they say they get the food, they get the whole workup, and they say, okay, here's the amount of food. And then there's a interface for the clients at home. They can go back here, they can take a look at their weight loss progress. So it's a very friendly vet tech administration program, and the vets love that because it doesn't take the time. The vets love it also because, to be frank, they get their profit. They can support the office practice revenue that's in the time that's being taken by that vet tech by the sale of the therapeutic. And we've priced this program, there's enough room in here to make this a very profitable product for both the distributors and the vets. And the other thing vets like about it, vets are a very special breed. They don't go into veterinary medicine because they like running a small business and all the issues with staffing and owning every issue. It's a nightmare for a vet. They go into it because they love the companion animals, they love that therapy, and they really don't want to give a drug. They don't want to give that lifetime drug, it's just an appetite suppressant. But they see this as a 6-month tool to get them to eat the right amount of food and administer the whole program, and they really like that. They say that the drug portion of this helps the client take the whole weight loss program seriously. And then obviously worldwide intellectual property is important. Australia, Canada, China, Hong Kong, and Mexico granted, Europe and US pending. We've got a strong management team. But I think what's even more important are the 8 people that are behind this slide. Beth Eckenrode, my Chief Commercial Officer, ex-Chief Strategy Officer for Heinz. She worked straight for the CEO of Heinz, and he gave her a multi-hundred-million-dollar arm of Heinz to run. So we got significant marketing experience here. Paul Hasse, a lot of us know Paul Hasse, 25 years of finance. He was our CFO, ex-president of BioFlorida, prior Ernst & Young. But the 8 people behind this, people like full professors of pharmacy at UF, visiting professors at Harvard and MIT, ex-Genentech, responsible for $3.2 billion asset transfers. Got manufacturing, quality assurance, ex-MedImmune people, really experienced team. In my 25 years, I've run across a lot of good team members, and it's really nice to be at the point of life to pull these people in and assemble a team of people that I want to go to work with every day. And we're debt-free as a company because the 11 employees don't take salaries. We see the vision, they take equity, this is an employee-owned company, and we're driving this forward without draining the assets of the company, so the funds we raise will be reinvested back in the company and not go to huge salaries. Great team. A little bit about the numbers. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on the numbers, but 60 million is our target population. That's the size of the entire baby boomer population. It's a huge population, so the numbers are going to be pretty big. But just to give you a little bit of a feel for the numbers, this is an important number. This is a big number. We're saying we're going to do $6 million in revenue first year. I got to tell you, every one of our judges discounts that number. Everyone we've showed this to, and this has been trimmed down. Because these are big numbers. And so one of the things we got to go forward and explain better is the marketing plan, how do we get there? But this is 400 vets at 200 dogs per vet. That's 20% of their entire target population. So when you start thinking, oh, I need 400 vets, and just 20% of their target population, all of a sudden it starts becoming more manageable. How are we going to do that? So one of the benefits of being in Gainesville is we've got the University of Florida, vet school, one of the top vet schools in the country. And at that vet school, we've got one of the top nutritionists for animal health in the world. And we're going to do a nationwide observational trial at UF. And what this is going to allow us to do is, for example, go to NAVVAC in January and reach out to 15,000 vets. We're going to do a pre-mailer at NAVVAC and invite everybody to our booth. And just to get them a little bit of background on tremoxyl in this observational trial we're going to start up. We're going to focus first on the highest indication. For example, 20% of the dogs over age 1 have osteoarthritis. Phenomenal number. The first veterinary treatment indication is lose weight. There's nothing more that can affect the quality of life for a dog with osteoarthritis than losing weight. So that kind of, that'll be one of our reaches, in this observation trial. We'll be looking for a specific indication. Vets that may not want to put their animal on this program just because they need to lose weight. Well, maybe they got some really eminent health issues or arthritis that really want that dog to lose weight, so they're willing to give that try. So we got this observational trial. We'll be setting up a call center, a trial enrollment center at UF. We'll be working with the senior veterinary students and the senior pharmacy students to man this. It'll be a call center essentially for vet enrollment. And that gives us a lot of street cred to get out and reach a doctor. It's really hard to get into vet offices and talk to the veterinarian. It's really hard to get in the doctor's office and talk to them, but this gives us immediate access to the vet offices. We'll also have direct sales people. We'll have a sales team of about 4 sales force to go out and contact, hit the streets directly. And then we'll be working with, we'll be launching this with the largest veterinary distribution company, a $2.2 billion company. We've shown this to the VP Business Development, and he loves this product. Patterson Veterinary only does exclusive licenses. Any product that they carry, they're the only one, nobody else carries it because that's how they do business. That's how they got that big. He said for this product, he would do it non-exclusive. This has got that much leverage. The thing he loves about this product is the fact that there's no other product. He understands, I admire this guy. He's been in this business his entire life and built, from a small company to a $2.2 billion company. He understands vets better than vets understand themselves. He said, why vets need this product is there's no other product that will get the vet back into the office. And, one of the trends is clients are, taking their dogs and cats back into the office, fewer and fewer visits. And that and the loss of the front office sales is really making it a much more brutal industry and more difficult to make a living in being a vet than it used to be. So vets will love this product. So the numbers are big. The $6.8 million in revenue gives us a $2.1 million net income. Picture's not quite that rosy because anybody understands profit and loss realizes you got inventory issues, you got to collect money. So we do have to raise some money. If we didn't have the cash flow, not profit and loss, but the cash flow situation, then we could actually bootstrap this. But cash flow makes a big difference on this bottom line. The other important number here is we're talking, that back of the neck calculation we did, about a 5% penetration rate. Well, if I was in Pfizer, I'd be shot and fired if I was going after those kind of low numbers for penetration. But this, what we've built into our model is about a 1% increase in penetration rate per year. We think, we know we're not a Pfizer. We know we don't have $20 million in marketing to throw at this. We're going to throw a lot of money in marketing. You can see that the SG&A, these are marketing numbers. This is dominated by marketing. When you got this kind of market potential, you got to throw a lot of marketing money at it. So we got a lot of marketing there, but what this shows us is after a couple of years, we'll be able to prove this model, be able to prove the growth rate. We'll be able to show that we can get far past the 5%, but at this point, we're about a $60 million net income company. So you take a reasonable multiple of that, and that's a reasonable exit point for an investor. So we can just take this product and license it out to a large pharma. Every one of the large, Pfizer's and they've created their own veterinary-only company because they see the growth in this $58 billion industry. The opportunity that we're presenting is currently a $600K equity stake in the company. We're going to use that to build inventory and drive penetration rate. Also help us initiate the collaborative observational trial. With this, we've got an opportunity to get a matching grant of up to $250,000 from the Florida High Tech Corridor because we're doing the study at UF. It'll be a one-for-one non-dilutive. We talked a little bit about the investments to date. approximately 1.2 million. This company's got a little bit more, some more in that, and continuing the IP and development. But thank you. I'll certainly be open for any questions. Sure.
Have you checked into people taking this?
Have I checked into people taking this? Well, yeah, that's a significant concern for us. And AuxThera's only got the pet side, but I promise you that when you taste the dog formulation, there's almost zero chance of you taking this. So as bad as dog food is, this is flavored for dogs, and it's a pretty atrocious. The actual compound's kind of a sweet compound, and so the dogs will get the underlying. Dogs love sweet. You know, one of the issues with dogs, and everybody knows the story about antifreeze. They love sweets. They'll eat antifreeze with ethylene glycol, turn the kidneys into stone. This is a sweet compound, and it's very, very appetizing to animals. So sorry, no try there. Anything else? Sure.
Through all the regulatory approval?
Pardon me?
Are you still in regulatory approval process, or do you have it?
No, we've passed that. So we've done all the animal studies. So that's the beauty of this opportunity is we're ready for the market now, and this is one of the things investors love. You know, so.
Is it the NADA route, or what's the
Pardon me?
Is it the NATO route, or is it different? What's your regulatory pathway? You said you're done with it, but do you have like the new animal drug?
Yeah. So this is going out. So. What we can't do from a regulatory standpoint is we can't say we're treating obesity. Obesity is a drug claim, so we can make structure function claims. So if anybody's aware of the dietary supplement market, you can make structure function claims, but you can't say you're treating a disease. And the animal market doesn't have a dietary supplement market per se, but they have the FDA's making a program for stuff like the metabolic weight loss foods, that Hills has got out, metabolic, and ones that have therapeutic effect but aren't making drug claims. So we're following that regulatory path.
So I have a question. Why it's behavior? So it's the owners that continue to overfeed their pets. So what makes you think that they're going to take this other approach? Because isn't it that they feel sorry for their animals, and that's why they keep giving them more food?
Well, I mean,
It's treats.
owners love their pets, and they express that love by feeding and treating. And you just have to address that behavior. You have to give them healthier pets. So one of our mechanisms 2 years out is we'll have a follow-up product that's a treat. It's in a treat form. So instead of giving bad treats, they're going to be able to give a Tramoxle treat. And okay, you can give your dog 8 treats today, or 12 treats, whatever size you want. How many treats you want to give your dog a day? And take them out at the beginning of the day. Here, give them these treats. And because the dogs love this compound, it's a great treat for them.
Now, while I don't feed my animals from the table, my sister is really, really, really bad. And she gives her dog all the scraps. So how do you change that? I mean, she also gives them the dog food, and this dog was overweight. There's no question about it. So there's a behavior change.
Absolutely,
there as
behavior
well.
change. Yeah, and that's why it's not just the drug. That's why we're not bringing out just the drug. That's why we're making a web app. That's why we're bringing the whole behavior change weight management program. That's the vet tech run program. And so that's what the vets can't spend time with. That's what the vets would love to do. They would love to be able to have a practice that could spend the time on changing that behavior, on teaching them how to treat, on teaching them how to feed less. They just can't make money at that. That's the downside of So we're giving them that. We're doing all the work. We're developing the program on that side and handing them that weight management program, and they're going to help make it effective by using that in conjunction with the Tramoxle. And they think that the Tramoxle, the drug portion of it, will make the client take it seriously, and it is serious. I mean, weight loss is a serious thing for these animals, and
You also mentioned that it was never going to be on the shelves in the Walmarts or PetSmarts and whatnot, but wasn't that a claim that they had with the flea product, and now you can actually order it online?
Sure, and what that company did, so I can say that with this product because I own the intellectual property to it. And to get it into the Walmarts and to get it into the pharmacies, I could go out and bring it to the Center for Veterinary Medicine and get the drug approval for it. And if I did that, then I could bring it to those, but that's not my business model. My business model is to buy, that's not going to work. I mean, you got to change that behavior. You got to have the two components. So we think we're far better off on giving this as an opportunity to vets to also support the weight loss program. So we could go that route. We've made a company decision to not go that route.
Would you like, one more question here. I'm sorry.
What is the retail price going to be? The retail price.
In very lay terms, can you explain a little more? I'm curious about the mechanism of the drug itself. You said it shrinks fat cells.
In very layman's terms, it induces apoptosis in white fat cells. So we're actually shutting down the white fat cells.
And then when the dog or when the pet stops the drug treatment, if they were continuing to be overfed, would they?
Yeah, so that's the goal of the program is during that 6 months, they learn to feed appropriately. They learn to snack appropriately. So at the end of that 6 months, they're feeding the dog the maintenance weight. They're already doing the right thing because we've ramped it to meet up at the end. They're given the right amount of food. All I got to do is continue on what they've been doing. We do anticipate there's going to be relapses, but we hope, our real goal is to train them. Yeah.
Maybe I missed it, but are there side effects?
No known side effects, and that's the big difference. What's that?
Really, that's unusual. No known side effects.
Yeah, because it's a water-soluble amino acid-based compound. So this is just given at supernormal amounts.
What about horses?
What's that?
Can be fed to horses?
That might be down the road. It's one of the downsides to this product is you got to give quite a bit of it to get the effect. And so the larger the animal, there's some thought processes in other animals, but yeah, it works in human. It should work in any mammal by the mechanism of action.
When's it going to be available for humans?
Pardon me?
When's it going to be out for humans?
I don't have, AuxThera doesn't have the rights to humans. Humans are coming along at a different path. But that's going down the drug route path, so that'll be years.
So I love that.
But I started out at 260. I can't say I'm taking it. No, just kidding.
Veterinary gray market.
So I love it only costs $300 for the 6 months. But how does a vet make their money off of that? Because I have vet bills on an individual visit that exceed that. So I'm wondering, over a 6-month period, what gets a vet excited about $300 when you're getting, I would assume, most?
What is if I heard your question right, it's $300 over 6 months. What's the vet excited about? Yeah, the vet's excited that he's going to get $150 of that. And it's a very, if you know the distribution model, typically when the vet gets a product in the office, he sells it for double. And so he'll get this in the office at $150. He'll sell it for $300. He'll make $150. And put that against 1,000. Put that against 1,000 dogs. That's a pretty big number.
I'd like to know why you're not considering to include in your business model right now to have it cater towards the larger market of consumers, like in Walmarts and PetSmarts. I really suggest that you should really have that in your...
Because, yeah, and you're talking about for pets only, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because we can't handle the weight management. We won't have the vet interface. We won't have the vet tech program. It'd be very hard to administer the other half of the program that is really needed. You need to teach the owner how much food to feed. You need to teach them how much snack. If this is being pulled off the shelf, so that's one component of it. And the other component is to get it in that situation, I would have to take it through the Center for Veterinary Medicine and get the drug approval routes, and that'll take several years. But really, we would do that if it was the right thing to do, but that won't give the weight management program. It won't give the face time with the vet techs. It won't give all that training. And so what this product is doing is it's allowing, it's essentially supporting the free hours of a vet tech to train and help change that human behavior. And that's a huge part of any successful program. I can't understate how important that aspect is. And so we've invested a lot of time and money. So for example, our call center will do follow-up to the clients to ensure they're feeding the right amount. We're not going to leave it to chance that they walk out of that office and got the message. And so the vets love the fact that they don't have to follow up on that. So our call center will be very busy. Yes.
As a former dog breeder and shower, I can tell you first of all that there's a tremendous market in just even in the state of Florida. But you can go to a dog show any weekend of the year in Florida and have access to probably anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 animals and breeders and professional handlers and exhibitors. And if you've ever been down to the Ocala Dog Show grounds or what have you, these are giant events. And among the people who are raising dogs and breeding dogs, and some of them get a bad name, but the people who are also heavily involved in training for obedience and for trialing and for confirmation and what have you, nutrition and exercise is a really important thing. And I would suggest that you might want to also, even though you're going to run this through the veterinarians, that you might want to do a little bit of an end around in some of your public awareness campaigns about this particular product that will, first of all, these people are the people that go to the vet all the time.
Right.
And I mean, we know every vet in town, and they love us because we spend a lot of money there for a long time. But I think that there's a huge way of marketing almost directly to the breeders and the people who are heavily involved in sports, canine sports, as a way to drive them to the vets as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've already got the right mindset, and they know how important the other aspects are. And one of the things I'm fortunate about is one, the Beth Eckenrode understands, my marketing person, understands that kind of, and then we're building a big social media presence as well. So one of the 8 people behind the scenes is very experienced in that aspect, but that's great. Thank you.
You mentioned that there's same compound is being used in other companies for other indications. Can you tell us what that is?
Can you repeat that question again?
Didn't you say the same compound is being used in other research for other indications?
This compound, so part of our safety package is that this compound it has been used in NIH trials for other indications at other dose levels. So there's a lot of safety data on this. But they weren't in trials, so they didn't necessarily look for weight effects. So those weight effects weren't noticed in those trials, which allows me to get the IP.
For people or for animals?
Those are humans. Yeah.
One more. You said that you're looking for 600,000. Can you say, give some indication what the investor would get for 600,000?
Yeah, they're coming in pretty, because we're debt-free and we're employee-owned, we're in pretty good shape. We haven't given away a lot of the company already. So we're giving away about 6.5% of the company for $6,000, which we think is fairly serious. You do a discounted cash flow analysis on this, net present value on this. My background has also been in merger acquisitions with drug products and drug companies. And in a merger acquisition setting, on a discounted cash flow, net present value basis calculation, at a reasonable discount, because we're close to market, it's about a $200 million valuation. So the people coming in early are going to do pretty well, as they should, because they're taking a risk.
Are there any more questions? Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lee.
We appreciate it.